Hello my friends, for today's beer review we're going to be taking a look at Deschutes Brewery's Not the Stoic, a prized and potent Belgian-styled quad. So we have here something that is obviously a very special offering from Deschutes Brewery. Now Deschutes so far has been what I would call a solid brewery. They usually don't have stuff that's just absolutely mind-boggling, but they're definitely not bad either. Their stuff's pretty good, but I think this may be something very special. So this is obviously kind of a play on words called Not the Stoic. The Stoic is basically just a slightly stronger version of this beer, which I'll explain in a moment. But it is a Belgian quad, and it says a prized, potent Belgian-styled quad of stirring depth and complexity. And this is what really intrigued me. It says, Not the Stoic is an ale brewed with pomegranate molasses with 15% aged in oak wine barrels and 15% aged in oak rye whiskey barrels. So not only do we have a bourbon barrel aged quad, we also have a wine barrel aged quad. And normally you hear about barrel aging going on with like stouts and basic ales and stuff like that, not with quads usually. So this is going to be something really interesting. I've never seen anything like this before, and I've never seen it in our area before, but they randomly had it, and I saw the wax on the top here, and I was like, this must be something special. So I picked up 2 of them on good faith, one to throw into the beer cellar to let age, and one to review now. So I've pulled it straight out of the fridge, so it's pretty cold, and I imagine it'll get even better as it warms up, as Belgians tend to do. And as far as an ABV and a description goes, it says, a virtuous return, aged and sequestered in select oak casks. The result, a contemplatively brewed quad, created in homage to all those who doubted the original. This unrepentant rendition is definitively not the Stoic. And as far as alcohol goes, this comes in at an absolutely monstrous, looks like it's 12.1% alcohol by volume. So that is just like massive and mind-boggling. If you drink the whole bottle, you're definitely going to be feeling it, because this is huge, huge beer. So I'm going to be drinking this out of my Chimay beer chalice. It's made for Belgian-style beers, and that's what I'm going to use it for. So without further ado, let's get the cap off here. I'm going to break the wax seal on this and maybe see if the cap has anything on it. Okay, so here is the wax layer off. The cap is just solid black, but you know, I don't think I actually have a solid black cap yet, so maybe I'll save that. And there's the wax part of it. So let's give it a pour. Wow, now that's an interesting color. It looks like wine straight out of the. Let's see if we can get some head on this. So there's definitely enough left for probably a second glass or so. And as far as the color goes, it is an interesting kind of purplish ruby color. It also looks like a very dark wine. I know on the camera here it probably looks brown, but it's an interesting kind of mauve, purplish, red ruby color. Strange color. I've never seen a beer of that color before. The head is just slightly light tan, but it's already dissipated down completely. So with the high ABV and all that, not much head potential there. Let's give it a smell. Ooh, that's interesting. You can definitely smell the whiskey. Wow, the whiskey and the wine really intermingle together in this. Very boozy smelling, obviously. There's malts. Definitely kind of a pomegranate, grapey, sort of dark fruits with this. Not really light citrus or sweet fruits like peach and stuff. This is more like grapes, raisins, plums, figs, pomegranate. Very alcoholic smelling, which personally I like. Some people don't like it to be overly boozy. I love it. But the wine and the whiskey really stand out in this. It's really good. And this smells like it's going to be absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and give it a taste now, and then I'm going to let it warm up and give it another taste. But cheers, everybody. Wow. That is fantastic. Let me tell you right now, it is very strong on the alcohol. It has an alcohol burn to it almost. If you don't like overly boozy beers, you're probably not going to like this one. Very warming as it goes down. It has sweet pomegranate and plum up front, which kind of mingles, and grape, which kind of mingles with that wine sort of heat and taste. And that fades to malts, rye, and whiskey in the back. It's incredible. It has a malty kind of finish. Not really all that hoppy. I cannot wait to see how this tastes while it warms up. Once again, I'm just going to point this out. This is probably one of the booziest beers I've drank in a long time. I love my boozy beers, but if you don't like them, you're probably not going to care for this. But anyway, so far it stands at a perfect 10 out of 10. Let's see what happens when it warms up for about 15-20 minutes or so, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've been letting it warm for about 15 minutes or so now, and it is just slightly chilled, which is where you usually want to drink your Belgian doubles, triples, and quads, and dark ales, and goldens, and all that jazz. In the aroma, some of the alcohol has actually subsided, which is surprising considering how strong it was when it was ice cold. You can definitely smell some more subtle nuances such as spices, banana, more of the pomegranate molasses. Definitely more wine. Some of the whiskey taste has kind of faded, and it's a lot stronger on the wine now. Smells very good. I'm not going to say better. It's just different. They're both very good, straight out of the fridge and at close to room temperature. Both aromas are very pleasing. But let's give it a taste and see how it's differed. That is pretty fantastic. Although, strangely enough, I think I may have preferred it when it was colder, which is not usually the case with Belgians. Not to say it's bad at all. It's still probably one of the best Belgians I've ever drank in my life. It's got sweet plum and raisin up front. Very burny, boozy, warming alcohol notes with the wine. It's almost like drinking port or sherry. And you do get the whiskey too. It's kind of odd to think about whiskey and wine kind of mixing together and intermingling those tastes. But if you think about it hard enough, they actually both work out pretty well, because both of them are pretty high in the alcohol and have a warming effect, and they actually kind of complement each other very well, I would say. So definitely a perfect 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100, 10-star Belgian style beer, or Belgian quad really. Probably the best I've had, no joke. I'm going to say this is the best Belgian that I've had. Chimay Blue would definitely come in a close second for me, but this is just fantastic. So I think I'm going to be hard-pressed to find a better Belgian. So if you are a fan of the Belgian quad style, I highly recommend you guys check out Deschutes Breweries, not the Stoic or the Stoic if you can find that. I think the difference in that is that it's brewed, it'll say the same thing, but it'll say like brewed like 23% and 23%, so it'll just be even stronger on those wine and whiskey notes. But Stoic or not the Stoic, either or, give it a shot if you're into the Belgian style. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed the review.